viewers. Good morning to those of us here. You know, when I heard the minorities statement, I just had a good laugh. And it's good that there's something called history. So we go back into history and then we get the details. And so let's start off from 2006, when Vodafone, which is now Telecel, was being put on the market. It was the same thing. The minority group then also came out with a statement that they didn't think it was a good idea. It was full of inconsistencies. What? It also came out in 2006.
When the NDC was a minority.
When the NDC was a minority. And Vodafone was being let onto the market. Vodafone, I think when it was coming, when that idea was brought up, everybody was not happy. Because at that time, if you looked at the assets of Ghana Telecom, and then to be told that at that time, Ghana Telecom was being sold for $900 million with dollars.
Yes.
And with other things coming in, you come to about 1.3 billion, right? That was then. And it's supposed to appreciate. You understand? We are supposed to have had a very vibrant telecom service from Vodafone. That was what we were told. We're being told that Vodafone was coming in to help us. I'm just building a point because, you see, at the end of it, we went to court. As a member of the CPP, we went to court based on one issue and one issue only. Agreed, Vodafone had been sold, but the fiber optics were not sold to Vodafone, and Vodafone took it. That would have solved this problem we are having now. You understand? Of trying to merge the two of them together. Ghana would have owned the fiber optics, but we sold Vodafone to
Ghana
Telecom to Vodafone. And then, apparently, the contract did not include the fiber optics, which is the nerve of the telecom service. But what happened? We tried, we went to courts for God knows how many years. The case is still in courts, trying to get Ghana to own the fiber optics. So I am asking, at that time, when we were talking about inconsistencies, this Vodafone contracts, let me tell you, we signed a contract in Parliament for Vodafone UK. And then, it was then, I think, the government signed for Vodafone UK and Parliament ratified for Vodafone Holland. As we sit, we don't know who we signed that document with. In our investigations during our court case, we found out that some of the contracts were even signed in hotel rooms with different names. Inconsistency, that's what I want them to know, if they're talking about inconsistency.
The former President Kufuor, who led this whole
initiative,
MPP, would disagree with you.
Oh, no, she might disagree with me.
Even in 2014 and the years after, he still defended it.
Even the years after, he still defended it. Even the opposition now, the vice president, came out and said that it was a good deal.
Said it was a strategic
deal. The president at that time, Nana Akufo-Addo, said it was a strategic deal. But you and I know that Vodafone has not lived up to expectations. Even though Vodafone took the whole lot of assets that Ghana Telecom had.
Is that not why Dr. Bawumia said that it was strategic? Because then we sold and got $900 million,
it was undervalued. Well, we thought it was undervalued. And part of what they were saying, that it was strategic and it was profitable, was because of they were doing, social interventions, they were blah, blah, blah. Is that part of the telecom business? That was not why we voted, for them to come and do social interventions in other places. You understand what I'm saying? So besides that one, I just want to say that the minority has no voice to come out and even ask or say that the government of the NDC is being secretive, is inconsistent, and is doing secret dealings. There was more secret dealings in the Vodafone Telecom case. Ghana accepted it, and it moved on. So, from what I heard, the Minister of Communications says that it's not a merger and it's not an acquisition. As I sit, there's nothing that I can say because, as it is, he has not come out with a definite policy statement on this issue.
So,
so my conclusion is that this whole talk about secret dealings and whatnot should hold, because it is something that has happened before. We have lived with it. People defended it, and I am sure when this thing comes out, the NDC will also defend it. But the only thing that the Ghanaian public is asking is better services from a national telecom service. And if anything can be done to do that, it's welcome.
Now, if I get you correctly, you're saying that the the Ghana Telecel and Vodafone deal was bad enough.
Yes.
And we endured it.
And we endured it.
There are critics who say that if that was the case, then when the then late President John Mills, you remember that this whole thing was in August of 2008, then John Mills won the elections later December.
August.
And one of the things he said was that this was a bad deal. He set up a committee which also said that it wasn't in the interest of the country. Now, months later, there were people who were even putting pressure on the then president to come out with whatever bad thing that he found on it. And people felt that the NDC government then couldn't get anything to hang the then Kufuor administration on to indeed say that this bad was bad enough. Which was why perhaps critics may also say, your case has been in court for that long. Or how come we haven't been able to come out with the fact to prove that indeed it was such a shameful thing for us to do?
You know, one of the things that people vote against governments in this country is corruption. And I think corruption crept in. Visits to Chatham House changed a whole lot of things. You understand? There are things that there were so many allegations of what happened behind the scenes in Chatham House. And Chatham House had the interest of Vodafone because it was Vodafone UK. You understand? And therefore, people who were even in demonstrations and whatnot came out. Later on, we had so many stories. So it is something that is common in our governance structure and our politicking. You get me? We will go over all this again. That's why I said what the public needs right now is a telecom service that will be good enough to compete with MTN and give us good service. That's all that we want. Because if you're going to go talking about what happened, worse happened. What's happened? And we still stuck to it. And we expected Vodafone to be that telecom service that would partner with Ghana with our 30% and give us good service, but we didn't get it. And we are still at it.